Hello and welcome to another edition of Time About the Movies. We're wrapping up 1989 this week by looking back at the movies of 89 that we didn't cover that came out throughout much of that year. I showed you this list before of some movies that I did not get to talk about, some notable films that I found on Wikipedia, and they weren't on Box Office Mojo's website, so I completely forgot about them. We've got about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 movies here to look at. So I'm going to split this up into 2 episodes. This first episode, we're going to look at the first 8 movies I have on this list. And then for the next episode on Sunday, we'll look at the other 7 movies on this list. And then after that, we'll jump into 1990. So let's not waste any time. Let's get right on into it. Let's start with the first movie that I have here, and that is Bette Davis in Wicked Stepmother.
When Jenny and Steve came home from vacation,
Ben, we're home.
they weren't ready for Dad's surprise.
I got married.
With who?
They got a new stepmother.
Holy Mom. How could you have brought that woman into our house?
We do have great sex.
I realize I am an acquired taste.
Now they couldn't be happier.
Aren't you going to give your new grandma a kiss?
No way.
She's a one-of-a-kind woman, living in 2 bodies.
Oh, hello.
They're lucky to have a stepmother who's so good in the kitchen,
Can I have my breakfast now?
so helpful in the bedroom,
Skin.
Help yourself. I'm covered with it.
so loved by her stepkids. And since she's moved in, this house is more than a home.
This is war.
I love a good scrap.
Finally, the motion picture that answers the question,
This is a major lawsuit.
which witch is which?
I got everything under control.
Wicked Stepmother.
So Wicked Stepmother was notable for being the last film starring Bette Davis, who withdrew from the project after the movie began. She didn't like the fact that there was a lot of problems with the script, she didn't like Cohen's direction, and she didn't like the way she was being photographed. And Larry Cohen, the director of this, claimed that she really had dropped out because of her ill health, and she disputed that claim because she thought it would affect any future roles that she would have gotten. Although she did die about 8 months after this movie came out. She died in October of 89. This came out in February. So, I don't know. Maybe Larry Cohen was onto something. But from the trailer here, there is a lot of potential here. But I don't know. I haven't heard too much about this movie. But from the little bit I've seen here, there is potential for something a little crazy, a little over the top. But I don't know. It has a good cast involved. You got Bette Davis, Barbara Correa, Lionel Stander, Colleen Camp, David Rausch, Tom Bosley, Richard Moll, Seymour Cassell. But you don't really hear a lot of people talk about it. Maybe that's for a good reason. Maybe not. Who knows? But I don't know. Might be something I might check out one day. So let's go ahead and move on to the next movie, which I have seen, and that is Hayao Miyazaki's Castle in the Sky.
溢れる愛と勇気広がる夢と感動冒険ファンタジーの傑作天空の城ラピュタ
So Castle in the Sky came out in 1986, originally in Japan. It came to America 3 years later through Streamline Pictures, who did these dubs for anime movies that weren't necessarily great, but they were what we had for the time. They also did another dub of another movie that came out in 1988, which is probably one of the greatest anime movies of all time, but we will get to that one in the next episode, because that also came out in 1989 here in America. But I've seen the other dubs of Castle in the Sky. It's a great movie. It's one of Miyazaki's... It's Miyazaki doing what Miyazaki does best. It's well animated. The voice work is top-notch from the dubs that I've seen later on, like the ones from Disney, and then the one that Shout Factory did. And, I mean, it's a really good movie. Is it one of Miyazaki's best movies? I don't think it is. I would say that maybe something like Spirited Away would probably be one of Miyazaki's best movies ever made. And we'll get to that one whenever we get to that one in 2002. But Castle in the Sky is a great movie. It's a great movie all around. If you haven't seen Miyazaki's work, you should definitely check that one out. So let's go and move on to the next movie, and the next movie is Lost Angels.
You might try just
it's got to be illegal or something.
Every time I get a phone call about you, it's trouble.
Until you're 18, anything at all they want to do to you is legal.
Are you bringing a complaint against your son for illegal possession of a weapon?
This kid needs a year in juvenile hall. That's the only thing that's going to straighten him out.
What is the matter with you people? There's a human being here. He's real. He's in trouble. And he's your child.
That's a great sound, isn't it?
Your mother and I, now we both know how easy it is to fall into the wrong crowd.
You're loyal, huh? That's a good quality. Are you sure they're worth it?
Say something! I need you to talk to me now!
What do you want? You want to hang out with your best friends? You want to hit the road? You want to party? What do you want?
I just want to belong someplace.
So the story of Los Angeles is this guy, Tim Doolin, played by Adam Horowitz. He's a troubled youth who he's from a broken home in L.A. He's sent to a psychiatric hospital with a doctor played by Donald Sutherland, and he makes a connection with this doctor and a man who has issues of his own. And for this movie, this was actually Hugh Hudson's follow-up film after Revolution 4 years ago in 1985, which was a big disaster for him and Al Pacino. And from what I see here, it doesn't look too bad, honestly. It looks like a decent film. Donald Sutherland's a very good actor. You also got Amy Longcrane in this movie. Adam Horowitz is in this, and it looks like he's doing pretty well here. I mean, it's not a bad. It doesn't look like a bad movie, honestly. I don't know why it wasn't mentioned on the Box Office Mojo page. I guess because it didn't do well. Because looking on here on Wikipedia, it only made like $1 million, so it didn't do so well. But I don't know. It looks kind of promising. It might be something I might check out one day. So there's that. That's my thoughts on Los Angeles. Let's go ahead and move on to the next movie, and that is Signs of Life.
Fiberglass. The hell with fiberglass. The hell with you.
In a town like any other,
Good morning.
this will be a day like never before.
So I thought we'd have a little party this afternoon. I bought a cake.
It's big. Because today is the day that the town of East Hassett will be yanked out of the past
You did a good job.
and dragged into the future.
Now we're out of business.
Done. Finished. Finito. But not without a fight.
Did you see that? Get my pants. I'm gonna go to work.
Mr. Coughlin called. He wants to try and save the boatyard. There's one thing in the whole world that's stronger than a woman's love, and that's a man's pride. You gotta kick him in the pride.
50 years and I like the next business.
I think you broke my windshield. Oops. This car was perfect.
Let me out! Surprise!
It's going to take a lot of laughter
I don't think we can serve this.
Older? You're in labor.
You think I don't know that?
She has it? Did she?
and a little luck.
What are you guys up to?
We was digging a hole this morning. Struck cake.
If I'd have been holding a gun, I'd have shot him. You must really love him.
Avenue Pictures presents the story of a place we've all known. Where ordinary people
Guess all the usual, Betty.
dream the most extraordinary dreams.
You can't be awake and have a nightmare, can you?
Signs of life.
Important thing is we're going in the right direction.
Where the hell are we? Starring 5-time Academy Award nominee Arthur Kennedy and the star of Full Metal Jacket and Mystic Pizza, Vincent D'Onofrio, and introducing Mary Louise Parker. Signs of Life.
Well, this movie looks completely boring. I mean, there's not really much there. In fact, I'm looking on the Wikipedia page. You know what the plot for this is? Signs of Life is the story of a Maine man who is losing his bone in his business. Oh no. I mean, it's got a decent cast to it. I mean, Beau Bridges, Vincent D'Onofrio, Georgia Engel, Kathy Bates, Mary Louise Parker. I mean, but that premise does not does not really say a whole lot about how good this movie could be. I mean, from this trailer, it just looks like a melodramatic movie. Like, it doesn't really look like it has anything to merit. And you can kind of see why it faltered away with time, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something here. If anyone's seen the movie, let me know in the comments below. Maybe I'm the one that's crazy, but yeah, I just don't see it. So that's my thoughts on Sign of Life. Not the best acclaim for it, but it is what I think it is. So let's go ahead and move on to the next movie, and that is The Rachel Papers.
Charles Highway is a 19-year-old with an obsession. How to have the perfect love affair before he's 20.
It's not that. I mean, I really like you. Taurus. I don't think I know you well enough. Gemini.
He's the perfect pickup artist. He knows everything there is to know about seduction.
I don't know what you're complaining about.
Except how to get the girl he wants. The Rachel Papers.
Naturally.
Because even when you're 19, there's still a lot to learn.
Who's ever got time to act naturally with a girl?
Rachel is a very different kind of girl. The kind that always looks so unobtainable.
Maybe later we can meet for a drink.
Look, Charles, I'd like to. It's just that things are a bit difficult for me at the moment.
The kind that's always someone else's.
You done it yet?
I'm late from work right now and I can't come. Why?
You have been out with her.
But that doesn't stop him trying.
Did you make your move yet? Oh, we can't just go Charlie in. It's all about timing. Oh, well, excuse me. What are you waiting for, a telegram?
Like when to take advice from others.
Norman's law. Big flash.
Like when to say how you feel.
Act like you couldn't give a fuck, she'll be begging for it.
But the hardest part is showing that you care enough to win her heart. Forever. The Rachel Papers.
And yes, that is the same Dexter Fletcher who would later go on to direct Bohemian Rhapsody and then later Rocketman. Well, okay, technically he was the second director for Bohemian Rhapsody, but Bryan Singer took the credit on that one. But he did direct Rocketman, and yeah, I had no idea he was an actor before I knew about this movie's existence. But I don't know, it looks like it could be pretty good. I mean, he looks like he's doing a pretty good job as the lead in this movie. You also have Ione Skye, Jonathan Pryce, James Spader, Michael Gambon in this. I don't know. It could be worth a watch. I mean, it does look more interesting than I think a lot of people would have given it credit for. So maybe one day I'll definitely check it out. Let's go ahead and move on to the next movie. The next movie is Tom Waits in Cold Feet.
Kenny is a warm, sensitive, caring, homicidal maniac.
You ever think about eternity, Ken?
Only for my victims. So when Monty stole the horse, with all the jewels...
Monty must die!
Keep your voice down, Kenny.
Calming me down!
Kenny and Maureen
Get the car, Maureen!
went after him. With a vengeance.
I would like us to sew Monty up with the dead horse, kick him in the reservoir.
That's my gal. I want to see hands! Kenny is very angry!
Tom Waits is Kenny.
I'm a man!
You're the first person from Delaware I've ever met. The killer only a mother could love.
Dear Mommy, I have been promoted to Chief Executive Branch Manager.
Give it to me! I'll shoot you like a rabbit!
Keith Carradine is Monty.
He's kind of a crook, I'm afraid.
The charming but dishonest cowboy.
Oh, this is love, isn't it, honey? This is the real thing.
Oh, it sure is. God, that's off. And Sally Kirkland is Maureen.
Ooh, my skin feels so alive.
The shy but love-crazed romantic.
Maureen, don't make me have sex. It just doesn't seem like the time.
It is for me.
Whatever happened to the rights of the individual in this country?
In a comic fable about greed, lust, and high-fashion footwear. Cold Feet.
Boy, Tom Waits looks like he's having the time of his life with this movie. And it makes me kind of want to see it. Like, I'm not even kidding. I really want to see this just for Tom Waits in this movie. I mean, he looks like he's having the time of his life. Like, he He was just looking at the script and said, "Okay, I'm going to do whatever I want with this and just go all out." And like I said, he looks like he's having a ton of fun. It makes me really want to see this movie. And very good cast: Keith Carradine, Sally Kirkland, Bill Pullman, Rip Torn, Jeff Bridges. It's a pretty good cast, and like I said, it looks like a ton of fun solely because of what Tom Waits is bringing to this performance that he's playing here. Yeah, it's another movie I might actually get around to checking out one day. If I ever find it at a good price, I can definitely check it out and see if it's any good. I definitely want to see it. So let's go ahead and move on to the next movie. And the next movie is Blood Red.
We came here to America with nothing but a strength in our hands, in our backs.
They left behind one way of life and embraced another.
Nothing but only that we could own this land.
But the dream was a lie.
To the railroad.
The promise, false.
But my land is not for sale.
From the director of the Academy Award-winning A Trip to Bountiful comes the story of a proud, passionate, defiant Sicilian family.
How many of you will stay and fight?
Eric Roberts, Giancarlo Giannini, Dennis Hopper, Burt Young, Susan Anspach.
This is not Sicily, but there is still honor.
Yeah, it's almost never a good sign if a movie has been sitting on a shelf for 3 years and then it finally gets released. No joke. This was filmed in 1986, completed in 1986, but didn't hit theaters until 89, and maybe that's probably why nobody's ever heard of it. It's probably not that good of a movie, despite a pretty solid cast: Eric Roberts, Giancarlo Giannini, Dennis Hopper, Burt Young, Michael Madsen. But yeah, like I said, anytime a movie has been sitting on a shelf for a long period of time and then they just release it now, there's a good chance that it's not a very good movie. So yeah, maybe not something I won't check out anytime soon. But let's go ahead and move on to the last movie for this particular episode, A Chorus of Disapproval.
Guy Jones is new in town.
My name's Guy Jones. I was calling about your advertisement.
Breathe in through the nose.
He's about to audition for the ladies of the cast.
Oh, I like the name Guy.
No need to hyperventilate.
Masculine.
Manly.
Everyone says he's got great potential.
No idea what a pleasure it is to see a new man in the society. It's mostly filled with us boring women.
We think you're lovely.
Another singer we put well to the back, preferably in the car park.
Which way shall I turn me? How can I decide?
Guy's about to discover that he's a better performer than he ever realized.
One wife is too much for most husbands to hear, but two at a time there's no one to compare.
A month ago, I wouldn't have considered asking you, but you're growing in confidence every day.
Now his sex life is like his acting career. There's drama, intrigue, and scandal every night.
There's a little favor I wanted to ask you.
Could you do it?
Do it? You'll love it.
I think it's got to stop.
From the award-winning play by Alan Ayckbourn comes a tale of the people who give their all for their art. Jeremy Irons, Anthony Hopkins, Prunella Scales, Jenny Seagrove, Richard Bryars and Patsy Kensit, starring A Chorus of Disapproval.
Bang goes another reason for living.
If I was to tell you that the same man that directed the Death Wish movies made this movie, would you believe me? Yeah, I probably wouldn't believe me either. I mean, Michael Winner, he was kind of on a bad streak during this time. With the last couple of movies he made. Have you ever seen the movie Parting Shots? I mean, that's a movie that just you really couldn't tell that that's the movie. That movie is directed by the same man that did Death Wish. I mean, that's just, and not in a good way, because Death Wish is a great movie, and Parting Shots is not very good. And despite the fact that they have Jeremy Irons and Anthony Hopkins in this, this does not look too promising. I mean, there are times in here where I did chuckle at the trailer a little bit, but I don't know. Other than that, though, I don't hear a lot of good things about this one. I hear it's mostly kind of bad, but yeah, it's not something I really need to go out and see at some point. So that's my quick thoughts on A Chorus of Disapproval. Who knows? Maybe I might be wrong on this. Again, let me know in the comments. What do you think? What do you think? I'm not giving this movie a fair chance, or what? But that's my thoughts on the trailer for A Chorus of Disapproval. So with that said, that's going to wrap up this first part of the 89 movies that we didn't get to look at. I have the list right here of films that we still need to look at, including Gandahar, Penn and Teller Get Killed, Chud 2, Bud the Chud, Welcome Home, Limit Up, Stepfather 2, and Akira. So those 7 movies we'll look at on the next episode as we delve into 1990. Yeah, this is the last official video that we're doing of 89, so... And then when we come back on Sunday, we jump into 1990, and then we'll just go from there. And I actually did a calculated schedule of if things go the way they're going right now, we should be able to get to 1991 by the time July comes around, and then 92 by the time September comes around, 93 in November. So it's looking like every other 2 months we're going to be able to get through every week during each year. Depending on if the schedule remains the same. We might slow it down a little bit, something might happen, we might move along faster, so hopefully we can get through these together, but it's definitely looking like it's going to take 2 months every year to do these videos. So thank you guys for watching, and as always, if you want to see more videos like this, check out the playlist for the entire year of 1989, check out the previous episode, and when we come back on Sunday, we will jump into 1990, we'll finish off this list here, and then we'll go from there. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow for a new Movie Stop episode, and then back here on Sunday for the conclusion of this list. So as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow for a new video, and until then, take care.